A Denver restaurant group is facing claims from employees that it violated Colorado wage and hour law. It centers around an automatic 20% service fee added to bills at Culinary Creative Group restaurants.
The group is behind some of Denver's trendiest restaurants, including Tap and Burger, Forget Me Not, Mr. Oso, and Bar Dough. Your reporter Olivia Young spoke with some of those employees.
When you see a service charge at a restaurant, where do you think that's going? Employees are now taking legal action against Culinary Creative Group, alleging that 30% of that service charge went to management.
It seemed like I was a part of something really, really cool.
Faith Lindstrom got a job at new Japanese restaurant Kumoya in fall of 2023. Around the same time, Haley Jameson started working at brunch restaurant Fox and the Hen.
So I did like expo, serving, barista, host, like all of it.
Both restaurants add an automatic 20% service charge to all bills, with a disclaimer that it's equitably distributed to employees.
And I figured that's awesome because I want to see my back of house also get paid a livable wage.
It wasn't very clear like how they were dividing everything up.
While customers have the option to tip on top of that 20%, the women say they rarely did. Money from the service charge was given to employees in their paychecks.
It was practically nothing. Nobody could tell us where the money was going. Nobody would tell us why we aren't seeing 20% of the food that we're selling.
When employees at Kumoya raised concerns, Lindstrom says CCG held a meeting where they explained 30% of the service charge went to managers.
I was furious because my manager could, support himself and I could not.
In January of 2024, employees say the company reduced cash wages for front of house employees by about $3, changing their pay from minimum wage to tipped minimum wage.
That was a huge slap to the face.
The change prompted staff at some CCG restaurants to walk out and Lindstrom and Jameson to quit.
It just didn't seem fair to me. First of all, not really being honest with where the service charges were going and then cutting the wages on top of that.
When another Kumoya employee filed a lawsuit against CCG through attorney Adam Harrison, both women hired Harrison to file similar claims.
I think it does matter whether your customers think that that's a gratuity.
The suit alleges that CCG took employees' tips while falsely representing to customers that the service charge was equitably distributed to staff and depriving employees of state-mandated paid rest breaks.
It was like pulling teeth trying to get a break there.
Culinary Creative Group CEO Juan Padro said in a statement in part, quote, "No CCG employee has ever been deprived of a break," and that, quote, "We have never misappropriated a single penny of employee tips." Padro says service fees are different than tips, saying, quote, "Under Colorado law, service fees may be distributed to any employees, including management, at the restaurant's discretion," unquote. He says the service fee is clearly labeled and is appropriately distributed to staff. At Kumoya, Padro says it's only 10% of the service fee that's given to management.
This was always a tip. And so the service charge and any piece of the service charge that didn't go directly to tipped employees, that is a taking of the tip money that they're not allowed to take.
But Harrison alleges the service charge is effectively a tip because customers believed it would go to tipped employees who are paid a reduced wage. And according to the filing, management are not paid that reduced wage. Colorado law states that employers can't claim tip credits if they take away or divert tips, that mandatory charges like a 20% service charge aren't tips, and that employers can use service charges to fund employee wages, but not for a tip credit allowing direct wages below full minimum wage.
We hold value the same way as the general manager of the restaurant.
A lot of people in the service industry are just trying to live. We are already getting paid like poverty wages. I want equality and justice for anyone who's in my position.
The lawsuit was filed in February and is currently stayed while employees' attorneys challenge arbitration agreements. In Denver, I'm Olivia Young, covering Colorado First.